Whew. We got a cold one. Cold one, guys. It's January. Big snowstorm about to blow in. And yeah, I'm going to let you know. It says it's 37, so it is heating up a little bit. I'm going to let you know if it's worth it to rent out your camper, guys. I've been doing this for about 8 years now, maybe more, maybe less. 8 years, I run a fleet of RVs. This wasn't my easiest year, but it also wasn't my best or worst year. I'm going to explain everything in this video, show you guys little tips and tricks, and just break it down, how to rent out your RV to make a lot of profit, a lot of money this year, or at least break even on your RV payment. So let's dive into this video. So Maxi Journey Tribe, before we get started, my name is Alvin. Again, I run a fleet of RVs. That means I own multiple RVs, but I also manage other people's RVs, guys. So can you rent out your camper and make money? Yes, but is it worth it? That's what I'm going to explain to you in this video. I'm also going to give you tips, tricks, on how to jump into it year one and maximize your profit, because most people that will jump in won't watch this to the end of the video, and then they'll be wondering why it didn't take off, or they'll say that it's all made up and it's not worth it. So let's take a deeper dive into renting out your RV. All right, so you decided that you want to, or you're very, very interested in renting out your RV. So step number one is smash the subscribe button below, guys, because I have a whole playlist that you can rewatch and take down tips and slow down. They're all about RV rentals. It's a RV rental playlist. Check that out. You'll see that there's a lot of nightmare stories and a lot of pros, guys, as well as some shorts. But let's get back into this video. So number two would be where to list your RV. Now, you want to go to a major third-party platform. These third-party platforms are going to provide you with insurance. They're also going to back you and bring in renters to you. It's almost like going to Airbnb. So for RVs, it's called RVshare, Outdoorsy, and you also have RV Easy, Camping World, and other ones like that. Now, if you're on the East Coast, RVshare might be your better choice. If you're down south, it might be Outdoorsy. The West Coast, it might be Outdoorsy. If you're up in Canada or near that area, it might be RV Easy. So just go to all three and list them on all three, or go to all three and see how many RVs are available in your area, what kinds of RVs. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, so let's backtrack. The third-party sites, RVshare, let's speak about that one because that's the one that I use the most. RVshare is going to provide you with insurance. This insurance is if anything gets damaged on the outside of your RV. Listen to what I'm saying. RVshare, Outdoorsy, any of the platforms, the damage that they basically cover under their basic insurance is outside damage. If a car runs into it, maybe say a tree branch falls on it, stuff like that. The interior damage, you are not covered. Why do I say that? This might turn you away right now. I say that because the renter on most platforms has an option to choose whether they want to up their insurance to cover the interior damages. You're only covered up to your deposit or up to a certain amount of dollars for interior damage. That might be $1,000. I'm not 100% sure, but you used to be able to set your deposit limit. And I used to be around like 1,200, whatever, but it's only to a certain limit. Now they have a package where the renter can basically book your camper for $67, that package. And then if there's damage to your inside of your camper, burn holes, rips, cuts, tears, dog chews on something, then they will cover it up to a certain amount. But say if it's water damage, and I'm saying this because it happened to me on this exact camper. Say if it's water damage for $5,000, you're not getting covered. If a renter were to flood your toilet, you're not getting covered. You're going to get the $1,000 basically coverage that I was telling you about. It might be up to $1,500, but then the rest is going to have to be carried or charged. It's going to have to handle through arbitration. Why do I say this? Because they're going to reach out to the renter and say, hey, you did damage this. They gave me a quote, the owner, us, we gave them a quote, RVshare, of $3,000 worth of water damage. We're going to pull $1,000 from your credit card that was on file because you picked the basic plan. And then you're responsible for the other $2,000. That's the renter. They're responsible for the other $2,000. The renter can say, I didn't damage it that much. I don't want to pay that much. I'm not going to pay that much. There's nothing they can do. And I know this because it happened this year to me. So they'll reach out multiple times. After so many times, there's nothing they can do. They'll say, hey, sorry, you guys are probably going to have to handle this in an outside court through arbitration unless you can come to an agreement. The renter might come back and say, okay, I'll pay $2,000. Is that fine? And you got to decide, is it worth it for you to go to the court, pay a lawyer and all this stuff just to get the extra money? Is the damage really that bad? It's so many factors that you have to decide for yourself. That could really make or break you, because whatever price point you come to after that might not even be enough to cover your damage. And on top of all of this, guys, if you're thinking about renting out your camper, RVshare, Outdoorsy, RV Easy, they take a cut of that money that's owed to you. Isn't that crazy? They take a cut. So if it's $3,000, they still might take a $300 fee from you for getting that money. So you're still not getting your full amount. If you go to the dealership and they say $3,000 is damaged and you get paid out $3,000, you might only get $2,700. So you're still short money towards that damage that you're entitled to, that the dealer said, this is how much it costs for us to fix it. So if that will break you right there, it might be time to move on. It has happened to me. This year, it has happened to me in this camper. Okay, that's just number one. That was like the number one big thing, where to list it. RVshare, Outdoorsy, RV Easy. Those are basic. That's when you're starting off. As you grow, as a side tip, make your own website, list it yourself. If you want more information on that, I can provide that, or check out my RV rental playlist. Why is it important to list it yourself? It's very important for both, guys. The third-party sites, like I said, will provide traffic, insurance, and basically just show you kind of how everything works. They also vet most of their clients, even though you're going to have some bad apples. Okay, number two thing. Let's say, do you offer delivery, or do you allow them to pick it up? What you want most of the time, for myself included, I want to deliver the campers if possible. Why? Because this allows you to set everything up perfect. Remember, the people that might be renting this camper, it's their first ever time renting a camper. So a lot can go wrong. Think about your first time. Hooking up the water, power, sewer. It can get really, really messy, guys. So if you deliver, you get to make sure everything is right. That's your number one thing. Now, number two is it's an add-on, which I'll also teach you in my RV rental playlist. So check that out. I'll probably have it somewhere up here. I'll throw like an RV rental playlist. It might have stories and other stuff in there, but just weed your way through. You can do add-on. So you can charge for delivery. And now, since I have more experience, I'm going to give you another side tip. I also charge for them to tow the camper. And why do I charge? Because some people are going to say, that's crazy. Why are you charging when they're towing? Well, I provide my weight distribution hitch along with my bars and everything. That stuff can get damaged, and it has gotten damaged. So those are $700, $800 hitches. So one of my bars no longer attaches in my weight distribution hitch, and it messes up. So now I charge half the price of my delivery for them to tow it. So it's almost like if you just pay another half, I can do all the work for you. But if you really want to save a few dollars, then you could tow it yourself. So number one, where to list it. Number two is delivery, or do you allow them to pick it up? So 75% of the time, I want to deliver it. And then the other time, as your fleet grows, it might be more beneficial for them to pick it up because you might have 3 deliveries and you might have 2 other pickups. That's if you grow your fleet of RVs that big. So far, decide, is it worth it to rent out your RV? Let's continue on. But the number 3 deciding thing. Do you have the time to run this business? So like I said, delivery and setup or pickups, it's a lot of logistics, guys. Even with one camper, most campgrounds checkout is 11 o'clock. If you didn't know that, if you're new to the RV world, 11 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock is checkout. Late checkout might be 1 or 2 o'clock. Most people like you, not me really, you work 8 to 4, you don't have a swing shift, you work 9 to 5. So therefore, that campground is going to charge you, or you're going to have to tell your client, I can't pick it up until 6 or 7 o'clock at night. The client wants to leave, they're going to leave, and somebody has to pay for that extra night. So they might say, no, I don't want to do that because it's going to cost me an extra $200 just to go through you if your schedule doesn't allow it. Now, you also have to use that same logic for deliveries. Most check-in times is around 2 to 3 o'clock. 2 to 3 o'clock, middle of the day. So somebody that's booking your camper might want it dropped off as soon as possible or a little bit after that. If you can word it correctly, you can drop it off a little bit after that. So when you drop it off, it's going to be like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. They want to maximize their day. If you tell them you can't be there till 8 o'clock at night, they're like, man, we have to sit around, or my friends are there. It might be another reason why they don't choose to go with you, which is going to limit the dollar amount you can make, the clients you can make happy, and or you're going to have to step up your customer service when you do arrive. You have to really bring it. So sometimes, say I can't deliver till 5. I'll say, hey, sorry, I got multiple clients this day. I'm trying to make sure everything is right and ready to go. I can drop off soon as 5 o'clock. I'll be there, no worries. So you don't have to head out as soon as possible. Take your time, get settled in. I'll be there at 5. I'll set everything up. I'll try to make it work. And then for me, if the dollar amount is worth it, I will call off of my main job to go make money for my business. That's my business. I want to be hands-on with it. So if it's worth it for you, that's something you have to think about. If you had the PTO at work, sick time, whatever, if you can make it work, make it work. It's your business. Okay. So one, you want to list it on one of those major platforms. 2, delivery or pickup. 3, do you have the time to get into the RV rental life? Let me take you back over here for the next couple steps. All right, so another tough question that you might want to get an answer to before you start, or what should you allow? Will you or do you want to allow pets as part of the package deal? I asked it. So if I have a pet, I do allow pets in my rental. Now, you know your dog better than somebody else knows your dog, and they should know their animal just as well. So that's going to be something you decide. Now, if you decide, there isn't all negatives to it. There's some positives. You can charge them more. It's a upkeep. It's a fee. You can charge $20 extra a night. You could charge $40 extra a night. Little side tip. I usually charge between $40 to $50 a night, because if you take your pet and leave them in a pet daycare or let somebody else pet sit them, it still costs that client money. So why not come in a little cheaper than the daycare, or just about the same, and bring your pet along? They're family, but we also have to protect our investment. So if they get anxious or nervous, start chewing on stuff, clawing at the door, then you're covered far as the dollar amount, and then you still can put in an insurance claim for the interior damage. So that's another little bonus. Do you want to allow pets or not allow pets? Think about that. All right, guys. So as we go to, let's say, the next step, I'm going to lose track of them here. So if we go to the next step, it's, do you want to allow dry camping? This is boondocking. This is not full hookups. Water, sewer, electricity is full hookups. Partial hookups might be no sewer hookup, no water hookup, or no electricity. One of those is missing. So say if I go to my local state park, they might not have full hookups. Say if I go to a festival They have no hookups. Is this something that you're willing to allow? Festivals equal not full hookups most of the time. So that's going to be something you decide. Again, is it worth it to rent out your RV? I have a fleet, so I have multiple generators that will power every single system in my camper, but somebody has to fuel that generator up. I also have a video about which generator I like and which generator is the best. Make sure you check that out as well. Another thing is the water consumption. Most people have never stayed in a camper, so they don't know how much you have to conserve water. So you have to think about that. Is it going to be a headache? Do you know how to explain it well enough so when they decide to book your camper, do they know what they're really getting themselves into? And that also ties into the sewer. They're used to just flushing the toilet, not worrying about it. But now that tank's going to slowly get full. Is the festival 5 days? Is it 2 days? Is it one night? You have to decide, is boondocking, dry camping going to be allowed in one of your units? And is it worth it? So for me, it is. It's another add-on, guys. So a little side tip again, generator fee, dump in the tanks. I can add that as a fee. Also just, I have everything ready to go for that. So I'm an experienced owner and camper. So I know how to explain this in the best way. And I usually let them know before they book, this is what you're getting into. This is what to expect. And this is how we're going to minimize anything coming up. If there's a bathhouse, use the bathhouse as much as possible during the day. And at night, try to use the bathroom just for the bathroom. The biggest thing to decide whether it's worth it or not to rent out your camper for most of us, I mean all of us, is how much money can you make? Is it worth it dollar-wise? Will it cover your payment? So what I'm going to do is, if you smash subscribe, I'm going to show you how much money I made just off of RVshare. And then you have to factor in, say, another 15,000. Yes, 15,000, maybe a little bit more for the off-platform deals, the festivals, the return clients that already have my information, the ones that come through my platform, 15 to 20,000 extra. So what I'm just going to show you is just one platform, RVshare. You add the extra 15 or 20,000, and is it worth it for you? So most cases, you have to decide, are you setting a good enough price point to make profit or at least cover your RV payment? Are you breaking even? Then you want to get into the profit. Are you able to get 2 bookings a month? Try for something like that. At least 1 booking a month. Are you able to offset your yearly payments? Figure out how much total that is and see if it's worth it. If the damage outweighs it, then you might not want to go that route. But if you can minimize that, if you can stick around for a little bit, if you can watch my RV rental playlist, then you possibly could make tons of money renting out your RV. So guys, again, smash that subscribe button. My name is Alvin, and this is Max Your Journey. I teach you all about RV rentals, where to list them, how to list them, add-ons, and anything in between. If you have a specific question, please ask it below, and I will make another video addressing all these specific questions in that video. So if you want to know, I don't know, how much I charge, what do I charge for this, how do I do this, ask it below and I will answer and make a whole video just for you. So let me know down in the comments any questions, any concerns, and I got you covered. My name is Alvin, and this is Max Your Journey RV Rentals. I'll see you next time.